knows more than the wealthiest and the richest in the world. Let me prove it to you. I thought it would be wise for us to conclude Black History Month with this particular praise chorus that comes up in Psalm 115, because too many of us have bought into pop culture's language and words and ideas about God. Someone in the music ministry asked if we could sing Common and John Legend's song to the soundtrack of the movie Selma called Glory. Y'all ever heard that song? One day when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. One day when the war is won, we will be sure. That ain't true. And this ain't a knock against Common and John Legend. We appreciate their artistry. But this is to say that you and I got to learn how to reflect on our own story, on our own history, theologically, independent of pop culture. They took a line from Martin King's Valedictory, who borrowed it from a poem himself, where Dr. King stood up on April 3rd, 1968, at the Mason Temple Church of God in Christ in Memphis, Tennessee. And you can watch this when you go home. And King stood up and he said, "I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man." Here it is. "Mine eyes have seen the coming of the glory of the Lord." And in his own Negro preacher swag, he turned the corner and went to sit down while he was still talking. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed his faithful lightning with his terrible swift sword. And he sat down saying, "The truth is marching on." Oh, see what Martin King meant when he said, "Mine eyes have seen the coming of the glory of the Lord," is that one day when Black people in America attained that which we were after, it would be because the glory of God had come to achieve it for us, and that God alone would get the glory. And what I think our friends wrote in that song is that we would participate. We would somehow or another receive the glory because it was our marching, it was our fighting, it was our praying, and it was our pushing. Now, truth is, it is our marching, it is our fighting, it is our praying, but it is the animation of the Spirit of God that gives us the ability and the mind to march, to fight, and to pray. So one day, when the glory comes, it will not be ours, it will be God's. Now, I'm talking, help me, Holy Ghost, about Black people history in America, but I'm also talking about how you got the job you got, how you live, where you are, how you have the resources you have, and how your future is secure. One day, when you make it to where God is calling you and the glory comes, it will not be yours. Don't you stand up in no corporate boardroom and bore people with where you went to school and how many friends you got and how much money you make. If you make it, I said, if you make it, have enough sense to open your mouth and to tell somebody, if it had not been for the Lord who was on my side. Let all the progressives say, if it had not been for the Lord who was on my side, the glory goes to God.